You land, you're excited, you're ready for vacation, and your suitcase doesn't come out. Now, I know some people who are going to scream in these, as listening to this podcast episode saying, well, that's where I don't check my bags. I'm a carry on girl. This girl right here is not a carry on girl. She has outfits and accessories to match every occasion, and she can't do it in a carry on. It's not going to happen. Let's talk about one of the most stressful things that can happen at the beginning of your trip. You land, you're excited, you're ready for vacation, and your suitcase doesn't come out. Now, I know some people who are going to scream in these, as listening to this podcast episode saying, well, that's where I don't check my bags. I'm a carry on girl. Well, this girl right here is not a carry on girl. She has outfits and accessories to match every occasion, and she can't do it in a carry on. It's not going to happen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. So that's why at the Poodle Booked It, we have partnered with Blue Ribbon Bags. And so every person that travels with the Poodle Booked It gets access to this service. This is a little bit of a different episode for this podcast, but I really just wanted to elevate a service that I have recently found out about that I think is really important because I, had my luggage not arrive and had to deal with the stress of it, as well as having to deal with it for a client. And so I just think it's so important for not only your stress, but mine. And I am the most important one in this situation. I did a hair flip for fun for those who can't see. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just want your vacation to go off without a hitch. And so these are one of those things that we can do. So hi, I'm Sydney with the Poodle Booked It, and this is River Cruising Masterclass. I am so glad you guys are here today, and I'm so excited to be bringing you this episode. So let's just do a quick overview about what Blue Ribbon Bags is. So Blue Ribbon Bags is a delayed baggage service. If your checked bag was mishandled by the airline, they track and expedite the return of your bag. It's not the same thing as travel insurance, and it does not replace it. It's specifically focused on airline baggage and how to connect you back to your suitcase if it does get lost. And it will also not interfere with anything else that the airline or your travel insurance offers you if there is delayed or mishandled luggage. So this is kind of like an additional bonus too, instead of competing for. There's a couple of pieces with the Blue Ribbon bags that I want to talk about. The first one is they have a 96-hour guarantee. So what it is Blue Ribbon Bags works to track and expedite your delayed bag and really focuses on getting it to you within the first 96 hours of your flight. If they cannot get it to you within that time, they will automatically send you a check, Venmo, PayPal for $1,000. And so they're really dedicated to not actually hit that 96-hour window because they don't want to pay it. But it really works in your benefit because it's going to expedite the services. Here's how it works. So in the last, I think they've been around for 10 to 15 years. They've really focused on building relationships with the baggage delivery companies that all of the airlines use. So far to the point where they actually are inside of their systems. And so if you had a delayed luggage, took a picture of the luggage tracking number, they can go into the system and find out where it is inside of the airline as well. And so that gives you that extra creature comfort because last time I got my baggage delayed, they sent me an email 36 hours after my luggage had been delivered that my luggage had been delivered because that was when their automation system finally caught up to the fact that it was going on. With this service, I was getting text messages, every couple of hours when there was an update. Hey, your luggage finally made it from Paris to London. You're still at this hotel. We've updated this location. Same with some clients that I had. Usually Paris is my airport that gives me the most trouble. But there was a freak sort of fire in the airport in London, and they missed their flight to Shannon, Ireland. And the next flight that the airline could put them on was like 3 days later. So what they did is they took the first flight into Ireland and then got a taxi service. Their luggage went to them to their new location, but didn't actually make it on the flight with them. So it was on the next flight the next day. But they were 2 hours away. So with this service, what would have happened is they would have gone into the luggage system, notified them, and changed the location automatically instead of me having to be on the phone for 4 hours trying to figure it out and dealing with the time delay and changes. Not that I know from personal experience. And it would have just been a more seamless process. So, like, they're tracking it, they're keeping you up to date. If you were on a cruise, and even though I don't recommend flying in the same day as your trip, you're basically going to say, "Hi, I'm going on a river cruise. Here's where we're going." They're going to track it and change it based on when it can actually get to you and how that can work out. And they have people all over the world to kind of help expedite it. So if you had an air tag, if you had a thing, if you're like, I know it's in the Paris airport, they just won't deliver it to me, they can kind of help because they can go in the back and do a little bit more work than we can do because they have that relationship. And so this to me is kind of like a really important piece to help relieve stress when it comes to luggage, when it comes to a trip, because the last thing you want is to lose your luggage on vacation. Like, I don't want anyone to ever have to use this service, but unfortunately, we're all humans and sometimes things happen and we have to be responsible for it and pieces of that thing. So with on average, usually the things are luggages are delivered within the first 48 hours. And that really just is a lot easier for people to handle in terms of delivering and having that stress relief because they have someone who's going to be in constant communication and texting them to let them know that their luggage is in the delivery car, their luggage is here, even on the back end of a trip. And this also is not in comparison to things that you can receive from both your travel insurance and from the airline. If you do have to buy new clothes, shampoos and conditioners, all of those things are something that you should submit to the airline to be reimbursed and is covered by your airline. So those are things to think about. I'm really excited about these blue ribbon bag services and providing that to all of my clients who travel. You get it in a little packet before you go. It has a form that has the official code on it. And it's one of those things, if you haven't used my services and you still want to learn more about it, you can buy the service if you just go to blueribbonbags.com. And I think it's $5 a bag for you to have that additional layer of just having those people to watch out for your luggage. So that was kind of the overview of this program. I just wanted to elevate it. It was something that I had been getting more information on, and so I'm super excited about it. Your suitcase showing up is stressful, but having someone in your corner and having more people looking out for it just adds another layer of comfort. So if you are the overpacker like me, you can sleep a little easier knowing that your suitcase has an additional person watching over it and your luggage will get to you in the fastest, easiest way with the most communication possible. And so there you go. I hope you have the most amazing day. As I've talked about before, I will be going on a small hiatus for the month of August as I am working on building our next season on the River Cruising Masterclass. I'm super excited about it, and I hope to see you there. We're finalizing all of these river cruise lines. And with that, I hope you have the most amazing day.